Good morning from AfricaCom 2025 here in Cape Town. I'm together with Jean-Philippe Fournier, CEO and founder of Spectronite. Nice to meet you again.
Hey, nice meeting you again, Akim.
Thank you. If you look at Africa is under a lot of pressure. So we need to expand our networks across Africa. We have a huge amount of coverage gaps still across the continent, and deployment speed is not the fastest. So how can Spectronite help to, let's say, unlock the potential and overcome these obstacles?
Good question, thank you. Spectronite is providing very high-speed wireless backhaul solutions. An innovation, one-of-a-kind innovation in this market that is first wireless, so super fast to deploy compared to long fiber deployment projects. Very low in capex compared to those trenching projects as well. And really bringing very high capacity, which allows operator, government to deploy very good coverage across rural regions.
In our earlier conversation, you also mentioned that one of your key differentiators is that you bring the ability to deliver up to 20 times more capacity than traditional microwave systems. And that's also through your digital carrier aggregation. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, sure. Not getting too much into the actual implementation and the magic sauce there, but this is a unique technology we have developed in France, and which allows in one single equipment to generate as much capacity as about 16, 20 equipment of our competitors. So really we have a one box that digitally by software allows us to switch on and off channels, radio channels. And gives the appropriate capacity so that operators can access 2, 3, 4, 5 gigabits from one single equipment, which is absolutely unique in the industry.
And that's all managed by software?
This is managed by software, and most importantly, remotely. I mean, the industry today requires, when you need more capacity, someone to travel to the site, sometimes days away from the operation centers, and upgrade the hardware and put more hardware in the antennas. We forget about that. I mean, we are transitioning this industry towards a complete software-defined network. And even in Africa, I mean, software-defined is a hot topic in Europe, but we're bringing that for Africa, and we really think this is going to speed up and change the economics of wireless backhaul deployment.
So the MNOs across Africa, they have several struggles, also from policy and a regulation perspective.
Sure.
But on the other side, operating a network is also a very costly adventure. So how do you see your solution compared to this heavy legacy network equipment, industry?
Yes, so we are helping operators to free themselves up of operation costs. I mean, operation is really what is killing operators to deploy and to operate their infrastructure. Here in Africa, one of the main care abouts is power.
True.
It's capacity is one thing, but power is super important. So how many watts you have to consume for 1 gigabit of traffic? That's the unit we're looking at. If in that respect, we are able to provide with less than 100 watts up to 5 gigabit of traffic, which is something like 10 to 20 times more efficient than our competitors. So really relaxing the power constraint is super important just to relax the costs. Then the operation, facilitate the operation. Software, remote operation of a site is dragging down operations costs significantly and drastically, right? If you are planning one visit per year on one site, this is already killing your OpEx. And by installing our equipment, you can upgrade the capacity, you can make your network live and upgrade over 10, 15 years without any human intervention. So we really are working on every aspect of TCO reduction.
So the idea, it seems like, was from the beginning to create something that is future-proven.
Yes, of course. I mean, we're seeing that innovation in telecoms is really coming from the base station part, right? This is really the big play for all the incumbent vendors. But if we're looking at what's happening behind the base station, the bells and whistles have disappeared. I mean, there's no innovation in that wireless backhaul area. There's not been any innovation for decades now. And we would like to apply the very same advanced machine learning algorithms, interference cancelling algorithms that have been deployed historically for the access layer and for the base stations, and we are taking that into the backbones. If I'm comparing what we are doing in the wireless backhaul compared to what's been done in 5G base station, today the modem we have, the technology we have developed to enhance the capacity is more advanced than what you will find in any 5G base station on the market. So really, we are driven by innovation, and we are fostering innovation from these advanced in telecoms into this wireless backhaul domain.
So when we talk about Africa, and your solution sounds like a perfect fit to modernize networks, do you have any current projects in place for Africa? Are you in conversations already with MNOs?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we are here at AfricaCom. We've had excellent feedback from the operators with which we are talking, and we are moving forward. I mean, we have been developing relationship with the big players here on the African market for about a year and a half now. We are moving towards some specific use cases that are on our table and that we hope we would be deploying in the first quarter of 26 to prove really that the capacity can be delivered very easily, very fast deployment, low TCO, low power consumption above all. And these are those very detailed use cases on which we're working with these operators.
So you recently launched your successful golden sample test with O2 Telefonica.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that and how ready your solution is?
Sure. So this was a super important milestone for the company. Yeah. Technically, because O2 Telefonica is a German operator, and they were really investigating every step of our products. I mean, doing all the measurements on the radio interface and everything, and on the operation layer and everything for our equipment. Now what we are looking at is starting deploying in African countries, right? This is super important for us to demonstrate the capability of the equipment, and I think it's unique in this industry that a startup like Spectronite is able to sign up with a tier one operator like Telefonica. I mean, O2 Telefonica is leading the innovation in the Telefonica group, and I think this shows to the industry the value of our innovation, because really we are able to attract interest, move forward, and collaborate with very large tier one operators like Telefonica. And that's what we're hoping at doing, and that's what we're working on here in Africa with the big telco players.
So the proof of concept has been achieved?
Yes, definitely. Now remains an installation in countries with adverse conditions, where we are signing this week a deal with a distribution deal in Nigeria, for example. So our first step in the Nigerian market is going to install our equipment and demonstrate to all our prospects there and the big players with which we are talking the robustness of our product.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the conversation.
Thank you very much.
It was TechAfrica News from AfricaCom 2025. You can find more on techafricanews.com.